Hello everyone. Our today's concept is example of SVM, example of support vector mission, right? So first of all, see the architecture of support vector mission. I will explain the architecture of support vector mission here. The architecture of support vector mission has three layers. First one is input layer of size m0 here. Okay, m0 dimensions are there. 1 to m0 dimensions are there, or input nodes are there in this network. It is represented by using x1 to xm0, right? And hidden layer of m1 inner product kernels. It would use some in hidden layer. Here we have used an activation function. That activation function is called inner product kernels, right? Each and every neuron of the hidden layer, we may use inner product kernels here. After that, coming to the last layer, that is output layer. At the output layer, we have only one neuron, that is called output neuron. Okay, and for this output neuron, we have applied some bias, bias to the output neuron. Okay, as a input, bias as a input to the output neuron here. So this is about a architecture of support vector mission. But what kind of activation functions are used in these hidden neurons is that is called inner product kernels. Here we can use three types of inner product kernels used in the place of activation functions of this network. Okay, it is a architecture of support vector mission. So in architecture of support vector mission, we have hidden layer. Okay, it's a three layers. It is having three layers. One is input layer, second one is a hidden layer, and third one is the output layer. In hidden layer, here we are using some inner product kernels. Okay, this is one kind of functions we have used in support vector missions, right? So it is represented by using k of x, k of x comma x1. This is k of x1, x comma x2. This is k of x comma x3, like that. This is the function of a inner product kernels. So in real time here we can use three kinds of kernel functions. Okay, as a activation function of support vector mission, we can use three types of kernel functions. Let us see about those three. Okay, these are the types of support vector missions. Okay, one is polynomial learning mission. Second one is radial basis function network. Third one is two-layer perceptron. Okay, at the place of inner product kernel, we can use any one of these functions, any one of these functions. Okay, so the inner product kernel is represented by using k of x comma xi. I is 1 to n. So if you'll observe, the equation for polynomial learning mission is x transpose into xt plus 1 whole to the power of p. What is p here? P is a specified a priori by user. And coming to the second one is radial basis function network. The equation for this is e to the power of minus 1 by 2 sigma square within the norms x minus xi whole square. This is general radial basis function, right? Here sigma square is a width. It is common to all the kernels, is specified every year by the user. And coming to third one is 3-layer perceptron. This 3-layer perceptron equation is tan h into beta naught into x to the power of transpose t into xi plus beta 1. Okay, here Mercer's theorem is satisfied only some values of beta naught and beta 1, not for the all the values. Actually, any one of these functions can be used as inner product kernel in architecture of a support vector machine, right? Okay, here these are the 3 equations. And coming to the last one, Mercer's theorem is satisfied only, okay, for some values of b naught and b1, not for all. Actually, every kernel function, okay, should satisfy the Mercer's theorem. Okay, every function of the kernel SVM must satisfy the Mercer's theorem. These two, polynomial learning mission and radial basis function network, these two, okay, 100% support the Mercer's theorem. But coming to the third function, this third function would not support maybe 100%. Why? Because, okay, here we have beta naught and beta 1 values. Some values are satisfies the Mercer's theorem. Mercer's theorem. Not all the values of this function, right? Then so what the statements here we have? Let us see. The requirement on the kernel is to satisfy Mercer's theorem. So kernel need to satisfy the Mercer's theorem. Kernel is represented by using k of x I comma xj. Okay, and it would use the kernel is used inner product kernels for 3 common types. What are those 3 common types of support vector machines? Polynomial learning and radial basis function. Third one is 2-layer perceptron, as we discussed now, right now. Okay, I mean, whichever we have discussed right now, these are the 3 functions which are used in a support vector missions. Okay, support vector missions in as a function of inner product kernels, right? And the inner product kernels for polynomial and radial basis function type support vector missions always satisfies Mercer theorem. So Mercer's theorem satisfies by both polynomial and radial basis function types. But coming to third one, 2-layer perceptron is somewhat restricted because of beta naught and beta 1 values. Okay, right. And for all 3 mission types, for all these above 3 mission types, for all 3 above mission types, the dimensionality of the future space is determined by the number of support vectors extracted from the training data. Okay, the dimensionality is depend upon the support vectors which are extracted from the given training data. Clear? And coming to the third point, the underlying theory of a support vector machine avoids the need of for. Okay, so what is the main theory of support vector machine? It wants to avoid the conventional functionalities of radial basis network and multi-layer perceptron. So whatever the old methods we have used in radial basis function as well as two multi-layer perceptron, those old models are avoided, okay, by using by adding some more few features or points to that functions. What are those? Let us see what are those. And those are, if it is a radial basis function type, if it is a radial basis function type, okay, then the centroids are determined automatically. Okay, in radial basis function network, we must identify the centroids, isn't it? We must identify the centroid. Based on that, we are going to form the clusters, right? So this selection of the centroids are determined by the support vectors and their values. Okay, directly the support vectors whichever formed in training data set, okay, those support vectors and their values are determines the centroids or centers of a radial basis function automatically. Okay, this is the one of the function which we one of the feature which we have to added the conventional radial basis network, which means old method of radial basis network. Okay, what is this new feature? New feature is automatically generation of centroids for RBF network based on the support vectors and its values. Okay, that is a new feature, right? And also, if it is a multi-layer perceptron, if it is a multi-layer perceptron or two-layer perceptron, what we need in two-layer perceptron? So how many number of hidden neurons we are using into that network? How many number of hidden neurons we are in need, okay, within that network, and what are the weights of that vectors? Okay, number of hidden neurons and weights of that vectors are determined by using, are automatically determined by using same support vectors and their values. Okay, this new feature is added to a multi-layer perceptron, and centroids selection is added to a RBF network. Okay, so by this we can avoid the old designs of a radial basis function and multi-layer perceptron for support vector missions, right? And coming to the here, in this models, we need to we would get some kind of problems. Okay, those are model complexity, and how to overcome this model complexity. Okay, in conventional approach, a model complexity is controlled by keeping the number of features in small, but now we are using a new method. For that new method, okay, the support vector machines offers a solution to design a learning machine by controlling model complexity independently of dimensionality. Here, we need to control the model complexity. But if these are the old methods or conventional methods, means by reducing the hidden neurons or by reducing the features, okay, we can automatically reduce the complexity of the model. But now we have added new features to the old methods, right? So how to control the complexity, model complexity, okay, model complexity. For that, here we have two steps. One is concept, and we will get two kinds of problems and how to overcome these two kinds of problems in support vectors. Let us see. What is the first problem? First problem is conceptual problem. Second problem is computational problem. Conceptual problem in the sense, if dimensionality, which means dimensions are increased, if the dimensions are increased, okay, automatically the model, the construction of model is also increased and the complexity is going to increased, right? So to avoid this, to overcome this, okay, for getting good generalization performance, here we need to, okay, we need to add some kind of constraints, on the construction of the separating hyperplane. So we need to put some kind of constraints, rules and regulations on the hyperplane, whichever we are using to separate the given data points, right? So by doing this, by making some kind of constructions on the hyperplane, you may avoid the complexity, you may avoid the, or okay, you may avoid the little bit complexity, right? And coming to the second one, what is the second problem we may get? That is computational problem. Computational problem in the sense, curse of dimensionality. Curse of dimensionality means how to calculate, how to reach the numerical optimization. If we have more number of dimensions, high dimensions we have, okay, in our support vector mission. So that is called the curse of dimensionality, right? How to overcome this? For this, as a computation function, we can use a notation, notion. We can use a notion of inner product kernel and solving the dual form of constrained optimization problem formulated in the input space. Okay, if we can use the new methodologies of radial basis function and multi-layer function, we may get two problems. One is conceptual problem and second one is computational problem. Conceptual problem is avoiding by putting some constraints on a hyperplane, okay, separating hyperplane. That is to overcome the conceptual problem. If you want to overcome the computational problem, means to get optimization, numerical optimization means, here you can use some notion as inner product, of kernel. Okay, so this is the example of SVM concept. Thank you.